All right. So this is a bit of a special treat of a conversation, and it's with Ankita, who has been a supply chain intern since August of last year. We're recording this in April. And Ankita, you actually are like the second sort of supply chain social media intern. And Madison was the first one, and she was also a UT Dallas student. Now that you have got another internship for this summer, I wanted to take a bit of a moment to just kind of memorialize the time that you've spent helping out here with growing Supply Chaney. Can you tell us a little bit about like where you're from and how you got to UT Dallas and decided to major in marketing?
Hi everyone, I am Ankita. I went to high school in Austin, Texas, and when I was applying to colleges, I decided to apply either marketing or psychology. I was like leaving it up to fate which one I got into. And I got in marketing at UTD and I got a pretty good scholarship, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to UTD for marketing. When I got there, I decided actually I didn't want to leave it up to fate, and so I also added on psychology as a major. So now I'm doing both marketing and psychology. And I actually found Nathan through our first intern's LinkedIn page. I was scrolling on LinkedIn and I saw her "we're hiring" post. And I looked at like the post and I was like, wait, it seems like something I can do. It seems like something I can do to get some experience. So I reached out to Nathan here. We had an interview. And I think the first week of August is when I started my internship.
Do you recall if I had you do some type of like test or assessment to like usually I try to have people like create a graphic and a post or something like that. Do you remember doing something
Oh
like
my
that?
gosh. Yes, I remember that you were like, okay, we're starting the supply chain social club. So I want
Uh-huh.
you to build a graphic using these are specific colors or the supply chainy cover or colors.
Uh-huh.
And I think I sent you over like one or two like different things after like a day or so, and I was like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, here you go, here you go. But I thought
Yeah.
it was really interesting that you did that because I feel like not like that many people do that or anything like that, but I think the fact that you did it was really cool, and it was you were able to see what I could do.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, when you're hiring folks and you're just purely basing it off of a resume and like claims that people make
Hmm.
when they're interviewing with you, sometimes you it's smart if you're the hiring manager to just double check and make sure that what the person is saying or portraying on a resume is accurate.
Yes, exactly. That makes total sense.
So talk a little bit about what your experience has been like as a student. Like what year are you, and like maybe some of the classes you've liked or not liked so much.
I'm at UTD, and so far my classes have been great. I am a senior right now. And as for some classes that I really loved, I would say maybe consumer behavior. That's a class that I really liked because it combined a lot of psychology and business behavior, which was kind of cool. Market research was also really great. Those were two of some of my favorite classes there. Specifically, I think market research with Loretta had a lot, and I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. And if not, I'm so sorry again. But also, consumer behavior was really good as well. And as some classes I didn't really like so much. Okay, honestly, it's like a preference thing, but finance. I'm taking finance right now, and professor's great and everything. I just personally cannot do math, so finance has been terrible for me. But other than that, my time at UTD has been great. So advice, join a lot of clubs. Clubs always help give you some reach and will help you make friends too.
Can you talk about some of the clubs that you participate in or have been part of?
Yeah, for sure. I've been part of comment marketing, which has been pretty good. A lot of it has just been over Discord, but we do in-person meetings as well, which is kind of nice. Some other clubs. This one's not really a marketing club, but it's called the Baking Club at UTD, and that's always fun because it's really good to de-stress. And I made so many of my friends just through Baking Club. Some other clubs, American Marketing Association, we have a chapter on campus, which has been really good. They have guest speakers come in all the time, and we're able to listen what it is from a more like marketing point of view, what people do, which has always been great. I think those are the three clubs I think I've been on, like, or I've been in on campus, and they've all been really good.
Maybe let's talk a little about what you were up to last semester. Because what was fun is that you and I have a weekly or biweekly meeting to stay in the loop on things, and you were calling in from abroad. So tell us a little about your study abroad experience.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So the first semester I was working at Supply Chaney, I was actually calling in from Milan, Italy, which was really awesome. So if anyone out there has study abroad experience, it's really fun, and you should definitely reach out and tell us about it. But studying abroad has been one of the most life-changing experiences in my life, and the fact that I was able to do that while working at Supply Chaney has been really cool.
Can you talk a little about maybe to elaborate on that? What are some of the things that you have done, the typical like tasks, like the repetitive sort of tasks, I guess, from week to week, and then any like one-off sort of projects that like have stuck out to you?
Of course. So I think some repetitive tasks I have every week is creating a graphic on certain days of the week. Like on Mondays, we like to do a calendar of events to go along with Nathan's videos on the calendar of events, just to have a clean graphic out there. On Thursdays, we like to do a little bit of a throwback Thursday where we do a throwback to some other podcasts we've had or some other videos that Supply Chain has done. And on Fridays, we've recently started doing industry news where we take a piece of industry news that's happening in the world right now, and we just give it like a platform so that people know about it. And I guess some one-off things that I have done. Uh, Working at Supply Chain has definitely taught me a lot about video editing. I honestly did not know that much about video editing before coming into Supply Chain. And one really good thing about working at Supply Chain is that it's given me so much exposure to different things I didn't think I'd get a chance to learn about or do. And one of those things, again, has to be video editing because I had done nothing about that. And Nathan taught me how to do a lot. I did some of my own research on how to do things.
I think that your personality and your approach to just kind of getting it done and going and teaching yourself as needed, I think is a unique quality for you. But I think for any sort of intern, especially at a startup, at a young sort of business, it's almost a necessity because of just the nature of everything is kind of always on fire all the time. And so it's, that ability to learn and kind of coach yourself and give yourself those skills, I think is important. Any sort of advice that you would give to students that maybe are considering, interning with Supply Chaney, not biased or anything, but any sort of internship anywhere, any words of advice?
I think maybe one of the number one things is to have a learning mindset. You go in like thinking that you want to learn more rather than thinking, oh, I already know everything, like, and this is great, like I can do whatever I want, which I'm sure you can, but it's always good to have a really good learning mindset. Another thing is to never stop looking. I know a lot of the times it can be a little bit tiring looking for internships, and it can be a little bit stressful and frustrating knowing that you have to apply to so many every day just to get a response. But I think number one advice is just keep going, keep track of how many you're applying to. You never know, one day you're going to get a response. Keep working on your resume, go to resume workshops.
I remember, in school, I did both unpaid and paid internships. Any like words of advice for someone who is contemplating an unpaid internship specifically?
I would say that experience can come from anywhere. Like supply chain specifically taught me so much. I think you mentioned earlier before, I do have an internship now, and I would not have that without the experience that I got at supply chain. So even having an unpaid internship, I feel like is good because it gives you experience.
I think it allows a student to have real world experience of practicing the art of whatever it is that they're doing versus just simply writing research papers about that thing for a class, right? So you get like real hands-on knowledge. And I think, Ankita, maybe you've done some work and interacted with some of the clients that I've had,
Mhm.
the supply chain has had directly, and some of those were easy to deal with clients and some of them were not. And so you got to kind of like experience what it's like to work in a marketing agency type of environment.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. And that again has definitely also been experience that like directly led to something that I could possibly talk about in an interview as well. So
Tell us a little bit about what the next steps are for you, school wise and internship wise and work wise.
For sure. School-wise, I will be graduating at the end of fall, so in December of 2025. And this summer, I have a internship lined up at 7-Eleven. I'll be working as a community engagement intern, and I'm so excited.
Awesome, and I'm excited for you, and I'm really proud that I maybe played a small little part in just kind of giving you that toolbox of experiences and some maybe hands-on skills to. So that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy because that's a big part of what I'm trying to accomplish here as that sort of internship provider. So, anything to leave folks with as we wrap this up?
Ooh, I definitely want to say thank you, and you definitely should feel proud because a lot of experience that I talked about have been from Supply Chaney because there was like so much to do and there was so much I could learn from, which again, that's for me to thank you about. And I guess some last parting words would be probably about the learning mindset thing. I feel like it's always important to like be able to learn more and to just keep looking for more to learn because that will never serve anyone wrong, especially a student.
Agree, agree. Hey, so thanks for jumping on real quick, being stepping up to the plate and humoring me on recording this. And maybe I'm thinking that maybe 5 or 10 years you'll look back at this recording and be like, I remember when, you know. Uh, so, all right. Well, have a good rest of your day. Good luck on your upcoming exams.
Thank you so much. And you too. Have a great day.